Hello, welcome back to Equity Guru. I'm Chris Parry, the guy that started it all here, the guy with the terrible hair and the $2 dollar store readers. Listen, today's 3-minute hit is coming to you courtesy of the numbers 44 and 45, that being the number of cents that it costs per share to buy into Beyond Minerals right now. Spoke to you a couple of days ago, told you about this company, and it was at 30 cents. It's gone from 30 cents to 44 in a week. Now, you might be saying, that's pretty good. Well, what's the news? Well, it optioned a property in Ontario, a greenfield lithium project, nearly 150,000 acres. It's entered into agreements to option 57 high potential greenfield lithium properties through staking that have been acquired through staking, 3 properties totaling 9,000 hectares, bringing its lithium property portfolio in Ontario to 66 properties. If you didn't see because I had my glasses on, that was me blinking. 66 properties. Now, they bought 57 in this deal. So you can do the math. They had 9 last week. They got 66 this week. You think that's why their stock is up? Maybe. Beyond Minerals now has a significant position in every major LCT Pegmatite district known in Ontario. Over 500 individual pegmatites are known to exist on the properties. Some individual pegmatites are mapped as being over 100 meters wide and are traced for up to 2.5 kilometers on strike. I'm going to get emotional. Look, we told you a week ago that these guys were the guys behind Prismo Metals, which has been great, and is something that we talked about for about 6 months. Not a client at that point, just a good story. We talked to them, we saw them doing the work, we understand what they were doing, we understood what they were getting at. We told you, keep an eye on these guys. No conflict involved. We hadn't taken a dollar from them, we didn't own any stock other than what we were buying on the market as we were talking about it. And that thing popped. Then they came with the band back together and said, we're doing it lithium style right now. We think lithium is hot. We've got some interesting properties. And here we are, 30 historic drill holes on 8 properties intersecting pegmatites with historical drill core logs, often describing interesting pegmatite mineralogy, none of which was assayed for rare elements when it was done. Historic numbers, boys. Now, why do you care about pegmatites? Look, there's lithium that's brine, right? That's in the water. That's one kind of lithium. There's also pegmatites. These things are basically lithium rock. And what these guys have done is they've said, we're going for the lithium rock. We like what's there. And we've got opportunities that I think are well worth pursuing. Well, the market agrees, man. There's only 23 million shares out on this company. And the thing has a market cap today of $11 million. Now, $11 million is not a large amount for a company that is putting it together like these guys are. So, while there's already been a 50% increase over the last week and a bit, which anybody who got in early when we talked about it, you're welcome. But it's still only a $10 million company. Now, if they go out there and they start going through those historic numbers and they start adding to them, doing a little bit more work, getting some more historic numbers, non-historic numbers, digging the dirt out of the ground and seeing what's there. Any good news with this deal is going to pop it the hell out. Now, we don't tell people buy this and sell that. It's not our jam. You should go and talk to somebody who is a financial advisor and understands your specific situation before you go out and make any big purchases. But I will tell you this. We like what we're seeing here. We are looking to buy in the market, and every time we think we'll wait for a dip, the damn thing goes up. So we've already lost out on a lot of that upward move by waiting too long. Now we're kind of making the case that you should just not worry about that dip. Maybe if you're looking to get in, the time is now, because every day that passes, this thing goes up another 10%. Today it was 12%. Now they're doing marketing. They've got deals with other guys, people like me. Well, not people with my pedigree, but they're people that say, hey, we're in Frankfurt and we're in Boca. They're doing business with a lot of people. They're getting the word out. But when people see the runs on the board, when they see what they've built, they see the presentation, and they see what we've been saying about them, they get it. That something big is happening here. There is no aim to make this just another bit of moose pasture with a tape around it and a helicopter flying over above taking happy snappies. The deal here is to move this thing quickly, do the work that's necessary, raise money where it's necessary, and progress. Get to a place where people see this as a big, serious play. 67 properties, every single Pegmatite in Canada, they have a property next to. That is significant. Now, you could say this is closeology. This is the supermarket of lithium properties. Are they going to go out and progress 67 properties? Hell no, they're not. But lithium is hot right now, and it ain't going to get soft anytime soon. We've seen that the big companies for the last couple of years have said, hey, when demand increases, we'll just turn on the taps. You don't have to worry about those little guys. We've got it all covered. Leave it to the big boys and forget lithium explorers. Well, you know what they just did? Big company, top two, just went down to Australia and made their third bid to take over one of the biggest projects down there. If they can just turn on the taps, why is that happening? Lithium is in play right now. Lithium explorers are in play right now. Every deal guy worth his salt, no pun intended, has a lithium deal that's either on the market or coming soon. You know, when you drive down the street in Vancouver, you can play count the Teslas, and it takes some time. I was literally driving home the other day, and there were 4 cars in front of me, 2 behind me, all of them white Teslas. I thought I was in a funeral march. This is what's happening out there. People are buying EVs. Now, 90% of the market in the automobile industry is still fossil fuel based. But 10% being EVs has taken over the market. That is the growth place. And none of them exist without a lithium supply. Elon needs a lithium supply. So what are these guys at Beyond Minerals doing? They've gone out and they've cornered the goddamn market on Pegmatite in Canada. Now, you can go get lithium in South America. You can dig a hole and pull it all out and sit it in a brine pool for 6 months, a year, wait for everything to dissolve except the salts. Or you can just go out and just smash rock. And Beyond Minerals are out there getting the rock to be smashed. Now, the next step is going to be to figure out which of the historic numbers they've got make the most sense, where they can go and do a little bit of exploration and get much better data. As they mentioned, critical metals were not necessarily a part of the equation on a lot of these properties when they were initially being given for historic numbers. Right now, that's a different story. You go through those historic numbers and you find yourself a little critical metals. That's interesting. So I'm saying to you right now, you don't have to believe me. Like, honestly, when guys tell you they've got a hell of a deal, you should think that they're lying to you. Myself included. We've got a long track history of not telling porkies. We've got a long history of pointing people to good little deals that are in the right spot to accrue value. We think this is one of them. The number of claims that are being picked up by this company is absurd. And I got to be honest with you, I got to think that there's going to be some sort of mass flipping of those properties at some point. They surely are not going to go out there and work them all. But when they go through those historic numbers and they start figuring out what the real cherries are, this is going to be a real interesting play. And that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Al Frame is the CEO of Beyond Minerals. Listen, he's a very circumspect kind of guy. When you interview him, he's just basically, you got to wonder sometimes you wonder if you've offended him, because he's just going to answer your questions and look at you like you got 2 heads, because he's a smart dude with a long track record. And even his most recent company, Prismo Metals, has been an absolute stallion. This is the same for lithium. And frankly, when your band keeps putting out hit records, you keep sending them out on tour. This is the simple thing in the public markets. You may not know a lot about lithium. I'll be honest with you. If you put me out at a lithium project and said, make it work, I couldn't. And sometimes I look at the data that comes out of drilling, and I can't tell you what's good or not. But the guys that are smarter than me, and there are many, will point to these guys and say they know what they're doing. They've been at it for a long time. Their record is in creating wealth. So right now, they're doing exactly that. We're really happy to now be calling them clients. We like when our clients are companies that we can just point to and just say, it does what it says on the tin. And these guys are that. They are building a monster quickly without having to go into horrendous debt, without having to sell the future. They are just going out making great deals with people who are happy for them to take over their property so that that property might get a little bit progressed. Beyond Minerals is the company. BY is the ticker symbol. Take a look at it tomorrow. Buy it, don't buy it. That ain't on me. All I want you to do is know about it. And also, if you want to know more, maybe hit that subscribe button and we'll show up in your YouTube feed on a more regular basis.